Hi everyone, this is Bella from Unlock Your Design, and today we're going to look at the current transits. We're going to weave astrology, human design, and gene keys. And as you know, that's what I love to do when we see the gates and the keys in space on the Rave Mandala, on the astrological wheel. We get a sense for the energies that are kind of pulling in different directions or working together. So let me share my screen with you. So here are the transits right now in this moment. The sun is in the 16.6. We can see we have had a nodal shift so that the nodes are exact the same, even in the decimals as the sun and the earth. When we look at that here in the astrological wheel, we see the 16 in Gemini, and we have this sun and north node, and opposite to that in Sagittarius in the 9, we have the south node and the earth. So what is this Gemini energy, and what is it that the sun is shining on? Uh, Gemini is all about logic and seeking truth and communicating. And if it has to move to find another conversation, other interaction to understand better, if it has to study, it will. So I feel it's a time where we are here to feel into our collective trajectory. This is where the sun is for everybody on earth right now. We also know that the 16 is part of the collective circuitry and the understanding or the logic circuit. So it is about logic. It is about looking at the past to understand the future. It is about a kind of leadership as well. And here in the 16 is about versatility. Given everything that is and everything that's changing, how can we use the skills that we have in our toolbox and move forward? I feel like there are some important keys that are helping. So when we look at Mercury and Venus, they are also in Gemini, and they are conjunct here in the 12th gate or gene key. And this is about purity. This is about discrimination, knowing what's pure, knowing what the truth is. And there is something here as well, because we have Mercury who is retrograde right now. It's about also revisiting. Maybe there is something, because we have Venus, which is more relational. Maybe old relationships are coming back into your life. Maybe they're coming back to be resolved, or they're coming back to remind you of something. In this period of Mercury retrograde, when we are revisiting, it can also be a good time for you to feel into, okay, who is it from the past that might be super happy if I contact them? Or is there something that's unresolved? Somebody's owing me something, or something that you haven't had time with, that now actually is a good time to revisit, to go back, to clear out, so that we can have this trajectory that has to do with the 16 and the versatility, the synergy when we move forward. It's a good time to revisit. Also mentioning, I think I mentioned this last week, but Neptune in Pisces, which is doing this square. So we have logic, understanding here, a lot of things that are going in that direction. And at the same time, Neptune has been here in Pisces for a while, and it's very slow. And it's about what's abstract, about our intuition, about it's it is about spirituality and love. And also when it's in Pisces, it has that, it's a little bit about illusion as well. So to kind of really feel in, because there's a tension, feel into where is the sweet spot between your intuition, between your logic, between your emotions, and between your logic, finding that sweet spot. And also, even if you want to be optimistic and expansive, Jupiter energy, Sagittarius energy, we want to remain with both feet on the ground. So even if this is airy energy, it's still asking us to kind of feel into the form, to communicate in truth. And we also see that we have the 13, which is discernment. So 12 is discrimination, 13 is discernment. Where are we going as a collective? How can we tune into our own authority, which is the 21, which is Chiron? How are you moving on in your hero's journey? It is to come into your own true authority, which is hexagram 21. And then Pluto is saying, this is the container you have to play in. There is nothing else That's what you have. And what I see right now with Pluto and Mars, if you look at in the wheel, you're going to see that they are opposite each other. So Mars here in the 62 is almost going to be, it's going to be exactly opposite when it moves on here to Pluto. And here we know that there is, in the low frequency of both Mars and Pluto, it's kind of aggressive, and it's about transformation. And Capricorn and Cancer are very different signs as well, but Cancer can kind of go into that, to that shell, and be hard, and Capricorn as well is stubborn, and it's so there is also having to do with this container that we might be feel forced into, and it's retrograde, so it kind of feels sometimes like we're going backwards instead of forwards. And it's very basic, it's a first line, so it's very much kind of down to our physical container, like how you might feel constricted, how you might feel limited. And at the same time, we are having Mars in Cancer, and yeah, it doesn't feel like it wants to be constricted. And there's also some emotional things that I feel are being activated here. So I'll go more into that look in another video, speaking about what it's exactly it is that can come up. And right now, as I'm doing this, we have the moon in the last line of the 49, which is about reaction. So our emotional weather right now is here in Aquarius. So we've gone through it, and it's coming into Pisces. So that as well, when we look at those gates, desire, victimization, weakness, doubt, dishonor, and crisis. This is where the moon is going. And then we have that Pluto kind of putting us in a container, physical container, that we feel limited. And then here, there is also, I would say, with the 62, there is a shadow of going to the intellect and think that that's the way we can fix it. But Cancer herself knows that that's not the way. But together with all this air energy, it can be easy to go to the mind. And what I'm seeing and saying here is that that isn't the way. What I always say, it's the body. When you come back to the body, that's where you find your true authority. And here we also have the very first astrological sign of the zodiac, which is Aries. Come back to your truth, your individuality, your body, your authority. Use your discernment, use your discrimination. See how you can be versatile and in mastery 16. See how you can be determined 9, to follow your truth, which is the earth and the south node. And then when you are going to meet these things in your environment with other people, that are bringing up those emotions that we were just saying in a low frequency. How can you have compassion and grace with yourself? How can you find the equilibrium although that is moving through? How can you be that observer of what's going on and feel it, and at the same time take responsibility of holding space for yourself, so that you become your container in a way? You become your own safe container. So that's what I feel for right now. And yeah, thank you.